This is real personal.
A warning to headphone users.
Yes. I'm trying to stay calm.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Dorm Debate Podcast. Guys, we had a crazy day today. While we're filming this is on Tuesday. And if you know anything about Tuesday, it is the trade deadline for the NFL. And we had a record number of trades. I believe it was 12 trades today, which was an all-time high for the NFL. So a lot of action this week. We're going to cover those trade deadlines after we play a little game of true or false. And that's where I will read a statement, and the crew here will tell me if that statement is true or false. Pretty self-explanatory. Before we get into it, though, I want you guys to go over to our TikTok and our Instagram and hit that follow button over there. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, leave us a 5-star review. And or if you're listening on Spotify, leave us a 5-star on there. So let's get right into true false. I have three statements today because we're trying to keep it going, trying to keep it quick, this podcast. With our first topic, it's about the underwhelming Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady. How underwhelming have they been? Very. And the statement reads as follows. The Buccaneers will not win their division. Now, if anyone knows anything, the Bucs are in the NFC South, and the current standings are the Falcons are in first. The Falcons, Jonathan, are in first. Marcus Mariota. Super Mariota.
He was almost an Eagle.
That is crazy.
What?
He was almost an Eagle. Chip Kelly wanted him really badly, according to the rumors.
Oh, yeah, Chip Kelly wanted him because he went to Oregon, probably.
Yeah, that was that. You got it.
Bucks are in second at 3-5. Saints are in, I guess, tie for second at 3-5, and then Panthers at 2-6. Panthers, man, get a new kicker. Get a new kicker.
You got to.
I could not believe it. PJ Walker deserves MVP this week for sure. He played a heck of a game. DJ Moore, heck of a game. Finally opened up the passing game.
Longest pass of the next gen stats era, if you guys saw that, which is like since 2016, I think it was. So no one has thrown a longer pass than he did it to DJ Moore, apparently. In the next gen stats era. I don't know if all time, but that's still in 6 years. Incredible. Yeah,
PJ Walker holds that crown.
For now, isn't that's
XFL MVP. Anyway, getting a little carried away.
Heineke's doing okay.
I'll go back to the statement. Bucks will not win their division. Will not. Let's go around. John first.
That's false.
All right.
Wait, so saying that's a double. So you're saying they will win the division by saying
yes.
Okay.
Okay, so you said they will not.
It's a double negative. So.
Should I have said Bucks will win their division? Like, I don't know.
It's not that hard, but I'm a little out of it.
Bucks will not win their division. False.
I'll say false too, but we'll dive into it because that's why I'm confused.
False. I say false as well.
Really? Okay,
Wow.
Jared.
Yeah, I also say false.
Wait.
This is a clean sweep.
So we all think
John,
that the
you were
Bucks will win the
surprised.
division still.
Yeah, I like
Maybe,
that you were
maybe
surprised.
I should. If the Panthers won, I was going to be freaking all in on the Panthers. And they lost.
No. Panthers are.
So,
I mean,
unfortunately.
I was actually going to
Falcons
open this
think
up. Can we agree that the Panthers are out of contention?
Yeah, I'd say
No.
they're last.
No.
Yeah, they're last.
They are. I mean, they actually
technic-
are last, but they're not trying anymore.
No, they're gonna be
Technicality. No, they are trying.
No, they are trying.
They're trying. They all suck right
No,
now.
no.
They're
I'm
trying,
not saying
but they're
giving
bad.
up.
They're not going to end up.
No, but they're playing the spoiler now. Like, you play till the end of the season. Don't get me wrong. You want to, they're not chumps on that team, but you trade away CMC, kicker misses those things. It's tough. Your quarterback situation's unsure. You have Matt Rule departed earlier. Like, are these the ingredients to make a run? Like,
Do you
this
remember
is my take.
Remember the Raiders of last year? Like, where they had that huge scandal with John Gruden, and then the players and that special teams coach, who I forget his name, but they just rallied around him. And that's what it kind of feels like with the Panthers, especially with the offense, really changing things up and airing the ball out for the first time. DJ Moore had one of his best games in full year. Like
That's a fair
they're
point.
finally just saying, screw it, let's just play
maybe-
free ball, play with house money, and see what happens. And it's actually been working. Their defense surprisingly let up that many points. Usually the defense for them has
but they
been
played the
solid.
Falcons. The Falcons' defense is
Are-
absolute trash.
DJ Moore is
very
that.
true.
I'm bullish on DJ Moore, and I had been. I think it shows that maybe too much faith in Baker, but DJ Moore is that guy. So it was cool to see him get that recognition.
PJ to DJ
Yeah, that was planned.
DJ to DJ.
For the TD.
Yeah.
That's
And
that.
it's-
for
Yeah.
the TD.
I think it's a building year, but they could experiment, have some fun, and if they, I'm not going to rule them until they're
You
statistically
can't rule
out.
them
You
out in
can't-
this.
yeah.
But why do we all think Bucks are gonna
Yeah,
come back?
Oh yeah,
we,
this is
we
about the
haven't
Bucks.
mentioned anybody but Panthers in the,
The
first
Panthers,
5
man,
minutes.
stealing the
listening
show.
is like,
We,
what are these
we
guys doing?
never talk about the Panthers, man. This is their time to shine. This is their five minutes of fame right here on the Dorm Debate podcast, because no other talk show is going to say crap about it.
Yeah,
So,
that's true. Honestly,
I mean, this is Tom
Anyway.
Brady we're talking about. I mean, you know he can do 7 Super Bowls. I mean, come on, that's all you need.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's the best quarterback in the division, so I would hope that he would know how to win enough to win the division.
yeah,
Like, when was the last time he lost the division? It's got to be a long time.
long time.
First time in 20 years that he's lost 3 straight. So, new era. Sadly, I will say I was confused because it's double negative, but also because this is like the first year where I've unwillingly rooted for him. It's just kind of giving him the benefit
You
of the
feel
doubt.
bad.
No. I mean,
You're like, oh man, my wishes came true. This is too much, God. This
He
is
got
too
divorced.
much.
He's losing the division.
No.
Okay, come on, give him something.
at the start of the
yourself.
season, only speaking in regards to football as the football player, I decided to start. All right, he's goated, and I'm going to root for him. And then maybe this year, now that I'm rooting for him, the inverse will happen. So I'm kind of, the logical part of me is
You're evil.
You really
No,
are.
no,
You're
no,
this
this is just
devious
about the
plan.
game. I'm saying he can work their way up. It is Tom Brady. You can't count him out. That being said, it's like my rooting for them has changed things around. So, football.
Well, so let me say this. What do you think is the main problem with the Bucks then? I mean, 3 straight losses, not to good teams. Panthers, Ravens, and Steelers. They have the second worst points per game, and they're giving up the most points in 22 points per game, and they have the worst red zone efficiency. Across the board, everyone's playing bad. It's not just one player. So, how do they flip this around? Is just Brady going to flip a switch?
No,
think
it's
he
not
has
going to
to.
be. It's not going to be a flip of a switch. It's going to take a few weeks to. I think once they come back from the bye, I think that's when they'll turn it around. They just need to start over, and when that bye happens, that's when they'll be able to do that. Because, like you said, everybody's playing bad, but once they all reset together, I think that switch could be flipped during the bye week.
Yeah, I hope it does. I mean, because the key thing is everybody's playing bad, so that goes on the coach.
Oh, yeah.
Bowles, right?
Yeah,
I mean, he's
Todd
getting
Bowles.
exposed. Yeah, he's getting exposed. If you have Tom Brady and you're doing this bad, that's just the coach. And so, I mean, I'm hoping he thinks of something different. They can turn things around a little bit. But I'm a bit concerned. That's one thing that concerns me as a coach. I don't think he's that strong.
No,
It's just-
he's a bad head coach.
Yeah.
They should have got someone better, honestly.
Well, at least I mean that's the thing. It's on paper they still have Evans, but he's not playing as well. Godwin came back, right? Well, no, but what Lenny Fournette is I have him on fantasy, and they're not able to get things going. So it's a lot of inefficiency means to me is a confidence issue. And it's not they're one game out. That's why I can't count them out. But I believe the last 2 games I was kind of thinking this is a get right game for the Bucks. They went against this easy to win against supposedly team, and then they're going to get back into the grind, and they haven't. So if they keep that slide, maybe in a few weeks, my statement will change. But 1 game difference against the Falcons, who barely were able to the Panthers lost the one. They had it. Not to bring it back to the Panthers, but it's more on the Falcons. A win's a win, but it's a 1 game, 2 game difference in that division, so they still have a chance. It's just those inefficiencies. You got to get back to the basics and really fundamentally control these things. You have Brady, so it's you are limited in maybe some things, big picture wise, but get to the fundamentals that work for your team and make teams play to your strength. I mean, the defense. I don't know why. Maybe you guys will know, but why has the defense declined? Because they were one of the best defenses, and they've had good showings, but I don't know.
Yeah, and just back to the point where Falcons are number one in the division. I mean, I was surprised to hear that. I guess that sort of explains why they would do something stupid and trade Calvin Ridley, right, to the Jaguars. Why would you do some idiotic thing like that? Right? Like,
He
that doesn't make any
gambles
sense.
too much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he's suspended indefinitely, so it's not right. That's what last I
I thought
saw.
it was just for 1 year.
I
Yeah, I
thought
thought it was
so
just 1 year.
too. But then some of the tweets were saying it was indefinite, so it's like not to say he's out for life, but yeah,
Oh,
I'm
wow.
betting it's a year. But it's like if there's no written end date and they're trading for it,
I wouldn't put Bet and Calvin Ridley in the same sentence.
I wouldn't
Sorry.
bet anything. Ridley's like, what?
What?
Did you say bet?
I wouldn't bet on Ridley coming back. He's like, oh, okay, I'm coming back.
Well, what are the odds? Give me the odds.
I can't believe they think they actually don't need him. It's just funny. I don't know what they're gonna do.
The Jags or
Yeah.
the Falcons?
The
Falcons.
Falcons.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
who else do
we'll
they
see.
have?
They'll
London,
do
Pitts.
fine without him.
They
They
have
got
plenty.
they got Zucchini.
They're a running team anyway. They
Yeah, that's true.
they have Zucchini. They have a
And
pit.
London.
They have a pit of
Mariota's.
the Zucchini.
But can you win? Can you win now with those guys? You can't win with those guys. You're gonna do average at best.
They are
Calvin Ridley-
winning right now. with
Yeah,
that.
they are. What do you mean? They're in the
Because
first.
they're winning because everybody sucks so bad in the division that they happen to be winning. You see what I'm saying? They suck the least out of everybody. They're like,
Yes,
okay,
yes.
yeah, we don't
Yeah.
need them.
I will
That's
say my
everyone right
my
now.
worry is the Saints. I mean, the Falcons are number one. You got to give them the respect that they get for that. But the Saints are, in my eyes, like the more well-rounded team. Andy Dalton's playing pretty well. I
The Red Rifle.
Yeah.
Andy Dalton. No, I'm not talking about him. All right, we're going to talk about a better quarterback. We're moving on to our second statement.
Mhm.
Geno Smith is the
Okay.
best QB in the NFC West
Okay.
right now.
Oh,
True or
key
false?
word right now.
Yeah, snuck it in
I'm
there
gonna
right
say.
now.
I'm gonna say true.
Okay.
true.
False.
Jonathan's thinking. Ooh,
I'm gonna say
say
false.
it again.
False.
Okay, that's surprising. Jonathan, you liked him. I'm saying true. So, Jonathan, you got to unpack that because literally last week you were like, Geno Smith's my guy. I'm picking him. Seahawks. Or 2 weeks ago, you're like, Seahawks pick over the Chargers. You picked him over my Chargers and you were right. And Geno proved you right. What happened?
Yeah. So, like, guys, people forget it's a team game. Okay. The reason why Seahawks are so successful right now is number one because of the defense. The defense is legit. Okay. The defense is the reason why.
Defense
their
gave
team-
up 39 points to the Saints and 23 points to the Chargers.
I mean, it was a bad game.
45
I mean,
points to the Lions. They gave up.
Okay.
This defense
It
is so good. I can't believe
It's
it.
good. I mean, they shut
It's
down
carrying.
Saquon Barkley and the Giants. I mean, they shut down Saquon Barkley and the Giants pretty good, right? I mean, they had a couple bad. They had a couple of bad games. Okay, if teams are gonna have that, but I think there's. If you look at their defense, the defense is pretty good. When it comes down to play against great teams, their defense is good. Okay.
What does that
Look, I
have to
like
do
Geno
with how
Smith.
well Geno's playing?
Yeah. So that's why their team's successful. Geno, he reminds me of Jimmy Garoppolo. He's a great game manager. He's able to execute plays that the coaches call, right? He's able to not make mistakes. He's a good game manager. But the question was, who's the best quarterback in the division? Guys,
Right now.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray's the best quarterback. In the
He's
division.
in
Let's just
his
stop.
team's in last in the division, bro. Come on.
Dude, he didn't have any weapons. DeAndre Hopkins is back now.
What? He didn't have
Offense
Marquise
moving more.
Brown? He didn't have Marquise
Dude, Marquise Brown, he wasn't that. Marquise Brown is not that great. Okay, he's
What?
average. He's about average.
Great.
He's not
He's
that
not
great.
great.
Yeah, he's average. He's
Okay, what
average.
about
Now,
he doesn't-
But with DeAndre Hopkins, he still didn't win the game against the Vikings.
Well, I mean, the defense kind of sucks a little bit. And look, the Vikings are a good team. Let's not downgrade them. They're gonna win the division. They're gonna win their division. Okay. So
Okay.
the Vikings are a pretty good team in the NFC. So they lost to a really good team. They kept it close to the Eagles, even when I don't think Diop was playing that game. Kyler Murray is good. It's just they've lost those close games. They've lost a lot of close games this season. And so Geno Smith has had DK Metcalf. Like he's a top receiver. Kyler Murray didn't have.
What do you mean?
Diop or-
Hopkins is way better.
Yeah, but he didn't have Hopkins. That's my point. He didn't have Hopkins for like most of the season so far. So when y'all say right now who's a better quarterback,
so you're-
you can't really say that.
You're saying
can't
like
really
a
say.
rocket ship, like counting that he has Hopkins now, despite
Yeah,
the
now,
last
yeah.
2 games, he is like now that Hopkins is eligible, he's now like at a tier higher.
Yeah, and also he's just a better quarterback. He's just a better quarterback. And again, people keep on looking at the record. Yes, you can look at the record, but look at the games, man. It was so close. Most of them are close. People say the Eagles are the top team in the NFL, which, come on, is a bit of a stretch. But hey, people say that. That was a really close game between the Eagles and the Cardinals. Okay,
What
they
about
compete.
Eagles? What about Cardinals Chiefs? Chiefs won 44-21.
44-21. Well, yeah, I mean Chiefs. I mean, come on, Chiefs are probably going back to the Super Bowl. The Chiefs
the
are the only
Bills.
team.
No, Bills are going to beat them again in the playoffs.
Well, no, I mean, see, the Chiefs are the only team that really competed. Well, besides the Dolphins, the Chiefs are really the only team that really competed against the Bills, right?
Okay.
And so, the Chiefs are going back to the Super Bowl,
Mm.
and so, in my opinion, and so, yeah, they're gonna lose to Super Bowl contenders like that when they don't have their best player. And Kyler Murray's good, but he's not Patrick Mahomes. Okay, he needs talent around him. Most quarterbacks need great talent around them to be successful.
Okay,
Look at
so
Aaron
how about
Rodgers.
this? How about this? You know, guess who's playing? Like, guess who Kyler's playing against this week? What quarterback?
Geno Smith.
Geno Smith.
Okay.
Okay,
That's gonna be
so
okay.
let's watch this game, and it's in Arizona. Please.
Okay.
So you think that Kyler's going to play a better game than Geno?
He should, but I mean, again, the Seahawks defense. I think, yeah. The Seahawks defense is. All right. The Seahawks defense is good, but I still think Kyler Murray is going to show up. He's gonna. Oh, they know they have to win this game. They're in last. Oh, they're gonna win this. They're gonna win this.
Okay, so
So-
in Arizona, Kyler has D-Hop. We're
Yes.
gonna come back to this next week, and what are we gonna go based off of? Passer rating?
Let's go off passer rating. Okay.
Okay.
I agree.
Forget win or loss. I just want
No,
to
do
see
you-
passer rating.
No,
It takes
go-
everything into account, right?
It
I don't
takes
know.
everything into account.
Well-
it takes everything.
well,
into
you
account.
guys were muted. I was looking it up. I don't know if anyone.
Well, I was muted.
I was muted. Yeah, I was listening.
Oh.
But that's why you couldn't hear the typing. That's why I was just absorbing the information. I believe just some background information as we enter next week in this in regards to this question. I believe QBR ranking for this season, number 4 is Geno Smith.
Correct.
I believe, right? And then
Ooh.
passer rating, I think he's also either 4 or 3.
And Caleb, who leads the league in completion percentage?
I don't know. I didn't look that far.
Well, and okay, and
It's
also
Geno Smith.
okay, but that matters. But how much times is he asked to throw the ball during a game? Who's that?
Dude,
running
he
back
also
you have?
has the
Wait,
he also
wait,
has
wait,
the
John, you have
most
that-
passing yards.
Wait, John, you have that running back. Is it Kenneth Walker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
on,
good.
he's on Seahawks. So look, guys, they're not asking him to do
Guys.
so much.
What
Kyler
about
Murray's
Eno
MVP.
Benjamin?
Jonathan,
What about Eno
let me-
Benjamin?
I mean, he's okay. I mean, he had one game. I mean, he's supposed to be good, but like he's a bit inconsistent.
Wait.
And-
Let me tell you about Kenneth Walker for a second, because that's a big point. That's a big point in Geno's success. Him
Yes.
blowing up is huge.
Exactly.
And I did some research and I looked up Geno's play action plays. You know, how much are they respecting Kenneth Walker?
Okay.
560 play action passing yards. That's third in the NFL.
Wow.
So-
wow.
Most of his passing yards are going on those play action
action.
plays.
No, I think
and they're
teams still
respecting
aren't-
Kenneth Walker.
No.
Thank you.
No, but
That's part
that's
of the
taking
game.
into account the
Carl's-
whole season. That's taking into account when Penny was running back.
Well, it does.
Sure,
it's-
but Penny was doing well. He
I
was
think
doing really well.
defenses are just disrespecting Geno's arm.
Yeah, I mean, you see the dimes he
Probably.
threw. I mean, Lockett had the drop, but then he had that nice, like, just that. It was just a beautiful. It was
Yeah,
honestly just a
Geno's
beautiful
throwing
pass.
good passes.
It's
Yeah,
pretty to watch.
I
It's
think
fun
they're
to
daring-
watch. That's an
They're daring
element.
him. Yeah, defenses.
No.
Defenses want him to throw the ball because they think
Yeah,
he's going
they
to make
do.
a mistake.
Yeah, but he hasn't. He's been pretty
He
consistent.
hasn't.
I mean, like, look at the Broncos. They were supposed to be a quarterback away. I don't think that's the case. But then, I mean, it's a fair point that Walker is good. I mean, maybe that, Wilson's success or not shows Pete Carroll's coaching overall. Walker succeeding. That good coaches bring out the best in everyone. So you're seeing that. And I think Geno Smith has at least surpassed expectations of what was expected of him. But then, like you said, like the play action RPOs, like teams that, I mean, that's why I think the Bucs are in a lot of ways failing, because they can't run the ball. Same with the Packers. When they were against the Bills, they were just not respecting the run. So it's like,
Oh yeah.
that's a big part of any quarterback success is just
Well, and the other quarterbacks in this division, like Rams, 49ers, Arizona, they're all bottom tier as far as rushing in the last 3 games. Like, they're so much lower, and the Seahawks are top 8 in rushing yards in the last 3 games. So that's the one difference, whereas when you're facing the Rams, 49ers are going to be different, obviously, with McCaffrey. But with the Rams in Arizona, they haven't been able to establish a consistent run game and not enough to be respectable. Benjamin had one great game, but other than that, they can just sit back and, rely on Kyler Murray to try and win him the game and scramble for his life, and they don't even have to worry about the run game at all. We have
Kyler Murray's
one more
valuable. He's the most valuable player.
Talking about Murray, and I was going to say those close games. Maybe I'll still say Smith is the best right now in the NFC West, but I think Murray is on. The Cardinals have lost a couple close games, and it brings into question transition time to coaching, right?
That's a great point, Caleb. And our next topic, Josh McDaniels and the Raiders. Oh, what a dumpster fire the Raiders have been this season. The statement, Josh McDaniels will be the next head coach fired. John, is that true or false?
That's true.
False.
That's true.
That's false. Okay, so we are a house divided. Caleb and I say
Jonathan and I agree on something.
Wow, this is going to be is a full moon tonight?
All right, so how about this? How about this?
I guess Halloween was yesterday.
I want to hear, Jonathan and I want to hear your 2 reasonings, and then we'll rebuttal.
Yeah, please tell us.
So this isn't me defending that he shouldn't be fired. The key word is next.
That's a part of my interpretation too.
Yeah, I think Dan Campbell deserves to be fired.
Before McDaniels?
Oh my God, yeah. Because look at Dan Campbell, you've had a bigger sample size, almost a full year, or almost 2 years full of sample sizes, and he has 3 total wins. Get him out of there. It's not working. So Josh McDaniels, yes, he's had a bad season, but there's still time to turn it around. I don't think it's going to be dumpster fire Lions but I did say they were a dumpster fire. Never mind, I take that back.
You're subconscious won't let you to keep.
But I need more time. What if this season they go on a win streak and they win 5 straight, but they don't make the playoffs? I say, look, let's have a new season. You got Devontae Adams. Brand new to the Raiders. Maybe try him out again next year. I give him more time. But Dan Campbell, you've had 2 years. It's been BS. So that's what I say. But he's been awful. I'll tell you that much. Josh McDaniels,
you're not defending
if he got fired, I wouldn't defend him one bit because he deserves it.
I mean, to be fair, wasn't Adams held to 3 catches last game? Is that in the half or something? He was saying nothing of their overall success with the Raiders.
I think he had 1 catch the whole game.
Yeah, it's something. Yeah, I mean, maybe I was being generous with 3, but it's a similar. I mean, that's why I think the keyword is next. Just because I was going to bring up the Broncos, bring up the Cardinals. There's tensions that are, more uncertain. I think. I don't know. I'm amazed. So the main reason why I think it's false that he won't he won't be the next coach to be fired is because the owner, I think it was Davis, the Raiders owner, came out and said no, he's the guy. He made his blanket as a statement, because people were asking, which makes you think. But he flat out said no, he's gonna be the quarterback till next year. The head coach.
That's the most untrusty guy I've ever heard talk in my entire life. He signed John Gruden to 10 years. He signed Antonio Brown. This guy, nobody stays on this team.
That's a fair point. I mean, I forget what he said. I'll look it up. What, Jared?
I will say, I didn't. So I'm a bad host. I didn't watch this game. I was driving back home, but I heard from John, who called me, that Derek Carr got benched. So I looked up some stats on him, and his on-target percentage is 73%. See, that sounds pretty good. But then that's 21st in the NFL. Then you go to Devontae Adams. Maybe he's just not catching these guys, not catching these balls. Maybe so. Davante Adams, he's had his lowest catch percentage since 2015 with only 2 drops. Lowest since 2015. In 2015, he was with Aaron Rodgers, but as many of you remember, like, he had a severe dropping problem. Like, he could not catch a ball to save his life. Now, 6 years later, 7 years later, he knows how to catch a ball. He's learned that. This is not on Davante's fault. Derek Carr he's not as elite as people think. And people even said he was labeled as a winner last year because he was winning these close games without a head coach. I think Derek Carr is a below average quarterback, and he's overstayed his welcome. He saved him time by winning and making the playoffs, by crawling to the playoffs last year. But they were seriously considering taking him out of the quarterback position when Brady left the Patriots.
Yeah, that was the rumor. He was Brady.
But they ended up sticking with him. But they thought about it and they were considering changing, and maybe they should have.
They wanted to break up.
That's another thing to think of.
Are you saying that Carr is more of a problem than McDaniels?
I think from the sample size, it's got I would want to see a different quarterback.
Oh, come on.
I would not be mad if Josh McDaniels got fired. He's been coaching a terrible game, but he does not know how to use.
He does not know how to call play. He doesn't.
Yeah,
know
I'm on Jared's side that he's not next, but I will say, every other Patriots legacy coach has done terribly, and I don't like McDaniels used to coach the Broncos, and it was cut, I think, early in his second year or something, and I don't know. I mean, Carr is not. I think he's not bad. I think of the top tier quarterbacks, he's on the lower end, if that makes sense. He can ball, he wins those clutch games, but I don't know if he's
not consistent.
But I think that's more on McDaniels not drawing out better in him, and it's but that being said, the reason I think this, so I looked at the quote, the owner, he met with the owner after, losses and the way things have been going. He said, and again, John, credit to what you said. It's they're just words in light of actions. But he said that he intends for McDaniels to be the head coach for years to come, was the wording. So that's why I was at least saying he's not the next one. I'd bring up, I'm curious what you guys think, but I worry more if I'm the head coach for the Colts, who just got rid of not Hines. I know they have Taylor, but Taylor's a little injury issues. Hines is a stud, and they gave him away. I'd worry about the Bucs head coach with Bowles. Lions is another one I'd worry about, because I don't think it's strictly Campbell's fault, though. I think it's just that organization doesn't know what to do with Megatron, Stafford, Hawkinson. They'd rather give them the other teams and see them flourish. So they could get rid of Campbell, but I don't think until top down, I'm talking above the head coach, GM, owner. I don't think the owner's going to give it up, but I think if everything else in the scenery is changing, that's the problem. You know what I mean? So, I think, but that being said, I think he's closer to being fired than McDaniels, but those are teams I'm more worried about.
All right, Jonathan, why don't you take this?
All right, thanks. Look,
wait. To preface, Jonathan has Davante Adams, and how many points did Davante score this week?
What is it, 1.7 or 1.2, something like that?
It's a good model.
This is real personal.
People need to know this.
This is real. This is real personal.
A warning to headphone users.
Yes. I'm trying to stay calm. The first few games of the season, Raiders played in a few games that were close. Okay, they lost a couple of games that were close. Fine, but towards the past few games, they've been getting blown out. Last week they got blown up by the Texans, right? 38-20, or they won that one, but they lost. They lost to the Saints 24-0. The Saints haven't been that great. Okay, if you look at all these games, the Cardinals they lost to the Cardinals without D-Hop. The Chargers haven't been too great. They lost to the Chargers 24-19. Okay.
Their only wins are against the Broncos and the Texans. That's it. Any team better than one of the worst teams in the league, they lose.
Exactly. And so when it keeps on happening like that, that's not just Derek Carr's fault. That's a coaching issue. To not score any points against the Saints, who are third in the NFC South? Come on, Josh McDaniels, got to do better than that. That's not just Derek Carr's fault. Yeah, I agree with you, Jared. I don't think he's it. I think he needs to be gone. They needed another guy. But Josh McDaniels, I mean, that's uncalled for. Your offensive coordinator, no excuses. And you got 0 points against the Saints. That's an issue. And you have Devontae Adams, probably the best receiver in the NFL, probably like top there with Cooper Kupp, right? And you're not able to utilize him and get him open and get him the ball. Look at Justin Jefferson on the Vikings. Look at Cooper Kupp on the Rams. At least those offense coordinators are able to get them the ball. Put him in a different position. Put him in slot. Put him somewhere to get him the ball. He's the best receiver. Be smart. 24-0 is unacceptable. He only got 1.2 points. I lost my fantasy football game. I should be in first place. And it's all because Josh McDaniels doesn't know how to utilize Devontae Adams. He needs to be gone. He needs to be fired. And Jarad, you talk about Dan Campbell. Again, he's lost quite a few games. But a lot of those games are close. They score a lot of points. They got this team got blown out 24-0. The Lions don't really get blown out much. They did lose bad to the Cowboys, okay? But other than that, they usually play pretty good games. And so it's just that final thing they need to, get that hump over. And I think that's the defense. I think their defense needs to improve, like I said before. But I don't think he needs to be fired right now. I still think you need to wait a little bit. Oakland Raiders, they need to get rid of that problem before it festers, before they want to be disappointed for the next few years, because it's going to happen. If you're not able to utilize Devontae Adams, I mean, what else can you do? What else can you do? Who else do you want, man? I mean, he needs to be fired.
Yeah,
that's a fair point.
When you listen to the teams and how many points they have scored against the Saints don't have a good defense. In years past they have been good, but Falcons scored 26, Bucks 20, Panthers 22, Vikings 28, Seahawks 32, Bengals 30, Cardinals 42. All those teams, every single team scored 20 points or more against the Saints so far this year. 20 points at least? That's a lot of points. And Raiders, 0. You can't even get a freaking field goal. You can't even get
3
anything.
Points, man.
It's a field goal.
Can't get to the 40.
You can't even get to their side of the field because you don't know how to call plays. You don't know how to draft any plays up. It's pretty sad. It's really sad right now. They better, if they don't beat the Jaguars, he should be gone. Get him out.
Oh, they should be fired as soon as the game's done. Beat him on the field. Get him off the field.
Ooh.
Escort him off the field as soon as they lose to the Jaguars.
You know what? Actually, even better. At the end of the third quarter, out if you're losing by them.
The owners on the sideline now.
Halftime. That'll be classic. Fire him at halftime. If they're losing bad at halftime, just fire him. Get him off the field.
Wait, Jonathan, did you see Arizona State's head coach Herm Edwards, and they met him at the before he even got to the locker room? They met him at the field, and they like put his arm around him. He's like, "You're gone, buddy." As soon as they lost,
it's a rough. I think they called those like there's been coaches on the tarmac. They were thinking if
yes.
I think that's where I saw it. They said if the Broncos had lost in London on the before you even got on the plane on the runway, they'd be like, "Yeah, you're going home to no job, buddy." And that's rough. That's rough. But that's yeah. I don't know.
I can't defend him.
Yeah, yeah.
Every head coach,
I will say though,
every head coach that leaves Belichick ends up coming back. Matt Patricia went to the Lions. He's back now. Joe Judge went to the Giants. He's back. Josh McDaniels goes to the Raiders. Bring him back.
He's coming back.
That's right.
John, you called this in preseason. You said this was not a good fit, like from the jump.
No, fair enough.
It won't work out.
It's like, how do you keep getting opportunities like that too? Like I know there's other people. I'm just like twice. I don't know.
All right, so let's move on to the trade deadline. We kind of talked about a couple of them. I wanted to talk about the Vikings because one of our last statements was about the Vikings, but for time's sake, we'll keep it quick. But TJ Hawkinson traded from the Lions to the Vikings. Caleb said it earlier. Is that going to impact the Vikings at all? They're already 6-1, leading the division. They're 4 games ahead of the Packers. I mean, does this change anything? Does it go from a division winner to maybe Super Bowl contender? John?
No, I don't think it changes that much. Hawkinson's a good player. He had that huge game for the Lions. 39 fantasy points, 180 yards, touchdowns, stuff like that. He's a good player. He's an upgrade from Irv Smith. I don't think it's going to be like, oh, now they're going to the Super Bowl, or oh, now they're going to the NFC Championship. I still don't think they're going to make the NFC Championship game, but I do think that they have the division locked up.
Okay. Anybody else want to take a stab at it?
Well, yeah, I think about bouncing a little similar to what John said. I think to me it just shows that they're going all in. The way we talked about the Rams last year, kind of giving up draft capital to get players. They wanted him now. Irv Smith got injured for I think 8 to 10 weeks. So, I mean, Hawkinson I think is one of the better performing. I mean, he led the league I think in week 4. I just posted it, but yeah, he had a huge game. But he's been one of the top tight ends. Now, again, the position of tight end has not had huge fantasy points if you were talking in that realm. Like compared to running back or wide receiver, but I've seen his name come up a few times, and as well as in blocking. So to me, it just shows overall more well-rounded offense for the Vikings, and the fact that they gave up, the fact that I think it's within their division too, is a little credence to why they might be getting rid of Campbell first. Like Campbell doesn't care. Like all right, like go be free. Like go win something if you get a chance. Now that's where I'm getting caught up is I don't think they will. Like the Vikings every year have been close to successful. Kirk Cousins gets a streak. Again, I've said this before. He's a good mid-tier quarterback, but until he wins those primetime games where it matters and gets deeper into the playoffs and just contending, that's when it's like this is kind of the same, not the same old. I like that they're giving up something. They're showing teeth. They're putting skin in the game by getting Hawkinson. But has anything significantly changed? I don't know. You won't know till the playoffs because they could go undefeated for this season. I won't be convinced till they win at least 1 or 2 in the playoffs. That's just
as long as the playoff games for Kirk Cousins are at 3:30, we're fine. We're rolling with Cousins
as long as there's light outside.
yeah. Maybe
right?
he has like a problem with his corneas or something. Like
he gets a
maybe
visor.
he doesn't. He does. Maybe he doesn't eat enough carrots. I heard carrots. If you eat them, you get better vision at night. Maybe he has a deficiency to carrots.
Maybe he got confused
Jarad,
and he's like, carrots, and he got the iced out chain. As he got confused on what kind of carrots they were talking about.
Jarad, how's your eyesight?
My eyesight?
Yeah, is it good?
Oh, it's pretty good. 2020.
How about at night?
I can't see shit.
Oh wow, maybe it is the carrots then.
I just look like a carrot.
Get this man a carrot. Yeah.
I
wish the Vikings almost all the best. Not really, because the NFC. But like, what's changed? Because you guys, I mean, I don't know.
What about Chase Claypool to the Bears, Nyheim Hines to the Bills, Chubb to the Dolphins? I mean, those 3. I think the biggest one, personally, is Chubb to the Dolphins.
I agree.
Yeah, that's definitely.
They're like bottom of the NFL in sacks, and Chubb has 5.5 sacks, which is like 7th for a player this year. So he is going to bring some much needed QB pressure, especially when you're playing a team like the Bills, who have Josh Allen, and he can run around.
And you beat him before.
You've already beat him before, but now you got a little guy who can set the edge, do a little QB contain, right, Jonathan?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Set the edge for Nyheim Hines.
Yeah.
they're looking to win now. Hey, the Dolphins are going all in. They're like, hey, we beat the Bills before, we can beat them again, and we're gonna get some more firepower to get Josh Allen, and this is the guy to do it. And so this is gonna be great.
I think as soon as they saw that Tua was all good to go, I mean that first drive, he went helmet to helmet on a run. I'm like, dude, did they not tell him to slide?
Yeah, he doesn't remember. Yes, I don't know. I like. I mean, it's exciting though. All these trades at least tell me that a couple teams are going all in, and I love that. Good teams that are already proving themselves. It was cool to see the Rams do it, and you see a ton of trades like that. So I think it's just going to be some fun football.
The one that stood out to me and I'm really happy for is Nyheim Hines. I've been waiting for him to get like a big role on a team, and I feel like the Colts they paid him enough to be the number 1 guy, and then they just never used him. So I mean, Jonathan Taylor won the job, but you're right. Still, like he's a great.
He could be a number 1 anywhere. Well, now he is.
Yeah, he's the piece that I think the Bills are missing.
They Bills have a couple running backs though already, right?
Yeah,
They
they
do,
Singletary and James Cook.
Nothing like Hines, in my opinion.
This
I mean,
helps
gonna be
him.
rotation.
Hines won't be the number one. Hines won't be the number
Yeah.
one.
What?
It's gonna be rotation. It's gonna be annoying.
Well, yeah,
rotation.
they'll rotate, but
Singletary will
No, but
still
the-
get more work.
really?
They did
Hines will
trade
do
Zach
third
Moss.
Yeah, they got rid of Moss, who was one of their
I think
backs.
I believe Hines will get majority of the yards as far as like passing goes.
Oh
Like,
yeah, passing for sure.
he's going to be more of an impact than Singletary is what I would say.
He's, I think he's better than Singletary in both aspects.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That's why I think he might be one until he gets the
I don't know
playbook
about
down. Maybe he is
rushing.
too, but
But
I mean,
I don't know
he
about rushing.
definitely is.
Singletary's not
you-
bad, but this definitely helps their run. I've talked about it for a few weeks. They need to upgrade the run game, and them having Hines.
yeah,
like,
definitely
Hines took
helps, yeah.
Taylor's position, and it was, when he was injured, and he put up some good numbers. So
It's so funny. The
It's-
Bills are trying to go all in and potentially go far, but they do all this, and the Chiefs still compete well against them. It's
I
funny.
can't believe Bills.
It's really funny.
Jonathan, Bills are going to win the Super Bowl.
No, they have the best talent,
Oh.
the most talented team, but believe me, they're gonna fall down soon, and I can't wait till it happens. It's gonna happen. I can't wait.
anytime they win, I just remember you saying like, even if they beat the Chiefs, don't get your hopes up.
Yeah.
Just every time they win, I'm like thinking of that.
Speaking of the Chiefs, one last thing because we missed it last week. Kadarius Toney, the Chiefs. Any thoughts? I think that's genius.
No, it's
I haven't
genius.
seen enough of this guy to be honest. I haven't seen enough of this guy to be honest. I don't know.
Yeah,
how
I'm in the
great
same
You
boat
haven't
as
seen
Jonathan.
enough? Didn't you see him against the Cowboys last year?
He's a good
was-
receiver, but
The Cowboys weren't that great last year. Let's be honest. He had one great game. That's why I want to see more of him. I don't know. Like,
Thumbnail.
maybe they've seen some film or something. Like I haven't seen much of this guy. I hope he's good, but I don't know. I'm just gonna-
I think he's good. I just like the if you ask me the Chiefs' problems, I didn't think receiver was I think it just adds depth to an already deep wide receiving core. So it's like that's good. It's not bad, but
He meshes well with them.
yeah, I think
He fits the archetype.
I don't think it'll
Yeah.
ever hurt. Draw more
How does he
eyes.
feel that? How does he feel the archetype, Jared?
Because he's fast
Quick
and
as shit.
shifty and quick. Kind of like a younger Tyreek Hill. Not as fast, not as
Taller.
shifty, but yeah, he just like fits it,
He's kind of like
Interesting.
Waddle, honestly. Like him and Waddle
Yeah,
are pretty
yeah.
similar.
Are y'all
Yeah, I
serious?
could say.
Or y'all just kidding?
No, he's. I think he's comparable to Waddle if you use him.
Okay. Interesting. I haven't seen him.
So lastly, we're gonna do lock and upset. Our predictions for next week. I'll go over the standings because, man, we are just not good at this. we are not good at this. I'll tell you that right now. This is like a symbol for how the season's
I think-
going. Like
I think
everyone is like
Caleb-
500.
I think Caleb wants to go back to us choosing games because since we started locking upset again, Caleb's 0-4.
It's amazing
Yeah,
how
so-
consistently wrong I can be though. Like that's like there's something
I think
there.
that's even more.
You get to pick the most confident game out of the week.
Like
right.
if someone had just bet against me every time, they'd be so far ahead.
Yeah.
Let's show the standings right now. So, John, you went 1-1. You were in first at 9-8. Jared, me, I was 1-1, and I am also 9-8, tied for first. Caleb, you were 0-2. Again, how does that
You have
make
to-
you feel?
When you say again like that, you said it was some
How does-
vitriol,
How does that make you
some
feel?
venom on your tongue again. Makes me feel terrible. Almost as bad as losing to John by like 1.83 fantasy points.
Yeah.
I was I didn't even look at fantasy because I counted it that Burrow was going to get 13-14, and I was just watching the game like knowing my fate was sealed, and I just woke up the next day and checked that it was that close, and had I started
So
Williams,
close.
you got me going.
And then
that's
Jonathan
bad.
went 1-1, and he is 7-10, tied for Caleb. Caleb is slipping, and Jonathan is about to take third place.
Oh.
Let's go.
Garbage. It's garbage.
That's 2 games. That's 2 games behind first place, right?
Correct.
No, let's not talk about that. You'll never get there
It's,
first.
it's still amazing how close it is.
For my luck, I'm going to pick the undefeated Eagles versus the Texans. I picked the Eagles to defeat the Texans big time.
Okay, so you pick Eagles. Okay.
Yes.
So Caleb, what's your pick?
She picked a good one. I didn't know I was gonna get first pick, but I'm gonna keep the one that I have for now. I got for my lock. I have the Vikings over the Commanders.
I'm doing the Bills over the Jets.
I know it.
My lock for this week is the Kansas City Chiefs at home, Sunday Night Football in Arrowhead, coming off of a bye.
That's interesting. That's our lock.
All right, and
That's
now
my
for the
100%
upset.
fact will win.
That's gonna be a fun. I think
All
that's gonna
right.
be a fun game. I wouldn't have picked it as a lock, but okay.
Jonathan, you have first pick as far as the upset goes.
Okay. As far as the upset, okay. Well, this is gonna surprise a lot of people, but I'm gonna say it. I'm picking the New York Jets to defeat the Buffalo Bills in New York. It's gonna happen. Sauce Gardner is gonna shut down Diggs. The Jets are gonna show up. Zach Wilson's gonna have a great game. He didn't have a great game this past week, but he's coming. He's angry. He's angry. People were criticizing him, but he's gonna do good this game. The Jets are gonna upset the Bills, and the whole world's gonna be shocked. The whole world's gonna be shocked.
If you pull that off, you deserve to be in first.
Oh, it's gonna happen. Oh, if it happens, can I be in first?
Don't give him bait like that.
No.
it all counts as one. But your 2 points. Okay, my upset is the Detroit Lions over the Packers.
Ooh. Okay.
My upset pick is going to be for the fourth straight loss, Rams over Bucks.
My upset pick for this week is Geno Smith to beat Kyler Murray in Arizona.
Dun, dun,
Seahawks
dun.
I like that.
over Cardinals.
I like that. I'm bullish on the Seahawks.
Wow. All right. Well, that concludes lock and upset and our predictions. Let's see if we can do any better. Caleb?
Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
Please, just one.
Just get one of them.
One.
Please.
Well, the good thing is if you don't get them right, then you'll have first pick next week.
Okay,
It should be
I
much
have that to
easier.
look forward to. Yeah, it's in shambles. If I go 0-6,
okay.
it's harder to
Oh, yeah.
purposely. It's harder to pick every correct game or pick every wrong game. Like someone's listening to this podcast and
Some may
meddling.
say that's more valuable than someone who picks right because they can just fade you. So, and fade means they just do the opposite of what you say. So
yeah.
you are
Look at my
somewhat
bench.
just as valuable. Yeah, like your bench.
If they were thinking
You always-
Swift or Williams, they should have put Williams because I put in Swift.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Don't-
you have a special gift, Caleb.
Getting me all riled up.
But the Eagles are undefeated, so there you go.
Oh yeah, in the World Series. No. Yeah. Okay.
And can we get a score check quick?
I
Can we get a Phillies score check?
I gotta look it up. Yeah, I was watching the game, but I stopped it to give the full attention to my to the podcast here to Dorm Debate.
I mean, guys, let's be honest. Astros are just too dominant. They're gonna win.
What?
Well, okay, Jonathan. We have someone from Philly and someone from Houston. Wait a minute. You don't even live in Houston.
Yeah, I don't even lose. I'm not a true Astros fan.
You're
But
just-
I'm just saying.
You can't let me have a good any win.
They're cheaters.
Although maybe
They're a
fair
bunch of
enough. Maybe
cheaters.
maybe all this fantasy failure and pick failure is translating to Philly's success. I mean, I will bear the brunt. All right.
There you
But-
go.
All right. I mean, I don't want.
All
I
right.
gotta stop talking because it's stressing me out. Fantasy.
Wait, what was the score?
Right. Well, it's not gonna be relevant when we upload it, but it's 7-0 to the Phillies. Phillies are up 7-0.
Come on. Yes. Way to go, Phillies. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. We turned into an MLB podcast. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like and comment down below your lock and upsets for this week. I'd love to hear them. Please go over to our chalkboard. The link will be in the description to join that so you can talk with us during live games and get any updates for Dorm Debate that we can't mention through YouTube or TikTok. And go over to TikTok and Instagram and hit us a follow over there. And if you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, leave us a 5-star review. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, we will see you guys next week.